Now I'm going to bind the seam allowances using a 2-stitch method. We've got the ready-made binding, again, bias tape, double fold. And I've stitched my 5/8 inch seam. I'm going to trim that down. I'm going to take off, again, I don't know, not quite 1/4 of an inch off of it. Now I'm going to fold with this time the longest edge is up on the top here. I'm going to open it up, and that makes this the shorter edge. I'm going to lay that out here along my raw edge of my fabric. And I'm going to pin it now so that my raw edges are covered a little bit there. You don't really see it on that edge. Nice little fold there. Line to follow. And my pinning. Just like this. Okay. And now I'm going to come and sew right on that fold line. Oops, I need to get another bobbin of thread in here. Hang on, one out. And that. Put in some brown, something contrast here so you can still see what's happening. So I'm using contrast thread again. You would probably be using thread that would blend right in so that you wouldn't have stitching showing so easily. Okay. Burying my needle in that fold. My pen. Putting my threads as I start. Couple forward, going back. And now stitching along that fold line. Right there, that little edge. And it's really only kind of an 1/8 of an inch. Good healthy 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Move away, trimming the trim, snips off. Now this whole thing folds over that. And we pull it nice and tightly over that edge. Now our pins are going to go out in here. This, so that we are catching way inside of this. So I made sure that I'm catching that back side. Push that over there. It is important that we catch that again, that we are far enough into that so that we close up the bias tape and it isn't open, exposing raw edges. Because that's what we're doing, we're trying to enclose those raw edges. Make sure I have caught it all. Yes, I have. Oops, there's a little fold back there. Let's have that stitched in. Go. It's all caught back there. Now we're going to stitch in the ditch, which is right in this groove. Right there, right next to that. As close as you can hide that stitching, right in that ditch. So I'm there in my needle there. Again, you would be using a thread that matches one of these things, so it makes it a little bit less conspicuous if you don't have your stitching right in the ditch. And that is what it's called, stitch in the ditch. So I'm following along on my needle, right in that edge there, right in that spot. So that we're hiding as much thread as we can in that ditch. Okay. Now the moment of truth to see if we caught it on the back. See, my stitching is right down there in that ditch. That's pretty good. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit now here. So my stitching is right down in there. See it right down in here. It's hiding in that ditch. Now let's turn over and see if we caught it and closed it. We did. We caught all those edges. Nothing is loose, can't pop up. So now my seam is ready to press to one side or the other. Generally you'd want to press it this way so that you've got that pretty hidden stitching in the ditch there. That is putting on a bias binding using 2 stitching lines to get it on. The first one was when we sewed just one little tiny edge, and then we wrapped it around, pinned it so that now we sewed the second time in the ditch and caught this back edge.